there's this overwhelming sorrow, and this energy that I'm receiving is very nostalgic, as if you or someone is replaying memories. They're showing me like a sunset, like it's like a mountain range and a sunset. So maybe this is something that you guys had done together at some point, watched a sunset. Maybe the sun is setting on a certain chapter or part of your life. But there's a deep sorrow, a grief here, and someone is not sure how to or if to return. Okay, and the distance is really affecting them. I want to get more from this person, because whoever's energy that I'm connecting to and channeling right now, it's almost like this person has wrapped themselves so much, like they believe they're in an illusion, but they're not. They're not in an illusion. And this is in regards to you. So this person, it's almost like they've gotten themselves so wound up in an idea, maybe even something that they think is a fantasy, and it's causing a lot of friction about how to move forward, about trusting how they feel, trusting what's going on between you two. And they're dwelling on the past. They're dwelling on the past. Okay, so spirit is showing me the sunset, where they're trying to guide this person to let that go. 222, as I said that. Okay, so spirit is guiding this person, or you. Again, I feel like I'm channeling somebody else for my viewer, right? So to put an end, they're showing me the moon to this illusion. They're saying it's connected to the past. So this person is really dwelling, right? This nostalgic energy. Look at clinging on. Look at to the sorrow, to the loss. I told you, like, I'm just like, I feel so sad. I feel like this like grief, this like deep sorrow. This person is super like, look at, they don't know if they're in a fucking fantasy. They're daydreaming this shit up. They're imagining how you feel. Thank you for backing me up, Spirit. On point. Look it, confused. They're not sure. But they're not sure due to past. Now, this could be the past between you two, or this could be the past just things that they've dealt with in their life, right? And they're holding on to the old narratives that's now confusing them, right? Making them unsure. Is this a fantasy? Is it all in my head? Because this person like wants to confess something here. Their love. You know, that's something that like everyone has their own, past programming and things that they've been through, but I will never understand. And maybe because this is like the old chaser energy in me, and that energy where it's like if something needs to get off of our chest, like get it off your chest, right? Like I was actually teaching my boys this a few days ago, and I woke up from it out of my sleep, and if like always go for something, like we have to create the narrative in our mind that the reward is always going to outweigh the risk, right? So the risk is a small portion of the reward you will receive when you take that leap, right? Now, in this case, it may be a confession, communicating some sort of message, right? Unveiling, coming clean, right? It's 8:51 on my clock and then 51 on my battery here, okay? So there's like this dual energy that breaks down to 6, the lovers, okay? This is a deep connection. But this person is stuck in a fantasy, questioning. And it's kind of like I'm hearing their thoughts in a way, like, I don't want to lose out, right? So it's like this person kind of like goes back and forth. Like, I don't want to lose out. But it's almost like this energy where they'd rather just walk away to like bring themselves some sort of peace, because they're clinging on very heavily to your energy or this fantasy, and is driving them bonkers, right? The silence between you two. They're saying, which I chose. Okay, so maybe this person ghosted you, chose the silence, never responded, right? So for me being in this energy, it's only natural that the ball is in their court, right? Why are they so confused? Yeah, look it. They don't know if they can trust their intuition on this. They're running. They're running. They're trying to escape. Like, see, that's that avoiding, like that energy where it's like they would rather like not deal with. It's like it's winding them up. It's a lot going on. And so it's like they're pushing away trusting their intuition. They're running away from trusting their intuition. There could be third-party influences, attachments, or there's this energy where they're in this kind of like emotional storm, because this is different, okay? What you have with this person is very different. And like, can they or will they, do they want to put an end to chasing thrills? Maybe this person is somebody who is single, ready to mingle, like playboy, playgirl type of energy. Do I want to put that away? Do I want to put that to the side? Do I want to end that? Why is this person so confused about the fantasy and then running from their intuition? Ooh. Releasing and like letting go, flew off of over on loyalty and spying. Okay, they're stressed. They're stressed out from spying. Remember, I told you they're all wound up. This person's so wound up. They're getting really, really overwhelmed. So it's kind of like, you know what? I just have to let this go. Like they're letting go. They're releasing the belief, because they're getting confused. Is this just in my head? And because they're all wound up, they're just like, I'm bailing. I'm out of here. It's overwhelming for this person. But that's because they're clinging on to an old narrative. They're clinging on to the sadness, the grief of past situations, either with you guys or just in life. This one's like peeking out at me. Their perspective. I'm going to go into part 2.